Have you ever wondered what truly defines who we are? Are we just a body, or is there something deeper that connects us to a greater purpose in the divine? As you ponder these questions, let's explore together what truly comprises our existence. This is an ancient theme rich in depth, which has been discussed and studied throughout time. Today we want to look at the truth pointed out by many wise men in sacred texts, that we are a union of body, soul, and spirit, each with its own purpose and role. By understanding this truth, we can see how we relate to the world around us, to others, and most importantly, to the spiritual realm. The purpose of this video is to clarify this subject. Many people wonder what the soul truly is, how the spirit works, what its relationship with the body is, and how all these aspects connect to God and the universe. We'll address these aspects one by one in a clear, practical way that you can apply to your life. Let's open up a conversation that goes beyond mere definitions, delving into the essence of who we are. By doing so, we'll discover how to live in balance, how to handle internal struggles, and ultimately how to find purpose and peace. Thus, our goal is to answer these questions, simplifying the concept and helping you see how body, soul, and spirit interact with each other and with the spiritual realm. Since ancient times, many thinkers, philosophers, and sacred writers have discussed the idea that humans are more than just physical beings. They are composed of different elements. In the Bible, we find several passages that mention body, soul, and spirit as if they are distinct parts of the same being. This concept, known as trichotomy, offers us a key to understanding our nature on a deeper level. Trichotomy teaches us that we are more than a physical body. The body, as the material vehicle, is the visible and tangible part. Through it, we feel pain, joy, cold, and heat. But does the body define who we truly are? Does it give us identity? Or is there something more, something that we cannot see or touch but that is equally real? This something more is made up of the soul and spirit, where our essence and connection with the divine reside. The Bible presents humans as a reflection of the Creator, made in His image and likeness. In this understanding, the body is the physical house that allows us to interact with the world. The soul is the center of emotions, reason, and desires, and the spirit is the dimension that connects directly with divine purpose, with what transcends the material. Ancient philosophy also explored these elements. Plato, for example, believed that the body is merely a temporary prison for the soul and that our true essence resides in the soul, the inner self that does not die when the body perishes. Christian philosophers like Augustine and Thomas Aquinas viewed the spirit as a distinct dimension, a connection with the sacred, which is immortal and exists beyond the physical realm. This division among body, soul, and spirit helps us see life more holistically, understanding that each aspect has its own purpose and role. The body places us in contact with the world and enables action. The soul is where we think, feel, and make decisions, the space where emotions and thoughts reside. And the spirit, the most intimate and sacred part, is where we find our true connection with God, with peace, and with a deeper sense of life. By understanding the purpose of each of these parts, we see that none is isolated. The body, soul, and spirit are constantly interacting, and when balanced, they lead to a more complete life. The body is our interface with the physical world. The soul defines our personality and makes us unique individuals, and the spirit is our link to the eternal, to what goes beyond time and space. God created us with these three dimensions so that we might live in harmony. When the body is healthy, it provides a foundation for the expression of the soul and spirit. The soul helps us feel and process experiences, giving meaning and expression to what we live. The spirit finally guides our existence, reminding us that we are more than just the here and now. Now, having explored the origins and meanings of body, soul, and spirit, we see how these parts of our being are interconnected. It's time to understand how the body acts as an instrument, not only physically but also spiritually. The body is our direct point of contact with the physical world. Through it, we see, hear, touch, taste, and experience the sensations of daily life. Practically, the body is our vehicle. It enables us to accomplish tasks, express emotions, and even fulfill our mission in life. But the body is more than just a physical structure. It is much more than that. When we view the body from a spiritual perspective, we see it as a sacred creation. The Bible says our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, 1 Corinthians 6 verse 19, teaching us about the value of the body as an integral part of our spirituality. This idea that our body is a temple invites us to see it as a sacred space, where something greater than ourselves resides. This concept elevates our understanding, showing that caring for the body is itself a spiritual act. The body is not only a way to experience the world but also a way to express our faith and values. Our physical actions, whether caring for others, practicing discipline, working, or worshiping, express who we are internally. When we embrace someone, we show love. When we kneel in prayer, we manifest humility and reverence. All of these actions have a spiritual component, even though they are expressed through the physical body. To ensure the body can be a good instrument of expression and action, it must be healthy and balanced. When we neglect to care for the body, we also harm our ability to act and react, both physically and spiritually. A healthy body facilitates the practice of virtues like patience, generosity, and kindness because we have more energy and willingness to serve, love, and act according to our spiritual values. It's essential to remember that while the body is physical, it is not isolated from the spiritual. Rather, it is constantly influenced by the spiritual, and its actions can also reflect on the spiritual plane. Self-care, such as eating healthily and getting proper rest, allows us to be more sensitive and aware, facilitating a life of prayer, connection with the divine, and service to others. Some practices, like meditation and silent prayer, teach us to use the body to calm the mind and open the spirit, making us more receptive to what is spiritual. Breathing, which seems so simple, is a link connecting body to spirit. When we breathe deeply and calmly, we create a space of inner peace, allowing the spirit to manifest more clearly. Taking care of the body, therefore, is more than a physical duty, it is a spiritual commitment. God has given us the body so that we may fulfill our mission on earth. He entrusts this temple to us, and it is our responsibility to care for it with diligence and gratitude. By eating healthily, exercising, and resting properly, we show respect for divine creation. Moreover, our body serves as a testimony to others. A healthy, well-cared-for body can inspire others to also value and respect their own bodies. When our body reflects this harmony, our soul and spirit also benefit as everything within us is interconnected. In summary, the body is our means of interacting with the world but also a bridge between the material and the spiritual. Caring for it is essential so that we can live fully and fulfill our divine purpose. The soul is the center of our identity, where our deepest experiences take place. It is what makes us unique, the seat of our emotions, thoughts, and desires. If the body is the vehicle that enables us to act in the world, the soul is the center of our personality, where decisions are made and from where the innermost motivations that guide our actions arise. The soul contains the self that reflects our preferences, inclinations, and what differentiates us as individuals. The Bible often speaks of the soul as the space where feelings and desires manifest, and where we can struggle with our weaknesses and internal challenges. Jesus, in Matthew 26 verse 38, says, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death." This statement expresses the emotional dimension of the soul, which can experience both joy and deep sadness, hope, and also despair. The soul is a place of constant tension, as it harbors desires and wills that are not always aligned with what the Spirit guides us to do. It's common to feel conflicts between what we want to do and what we know is right. In Romans 7 verses 15 to 20, Paul describes this internal struggle. "For what I want to do I do not do, but what I hate I do." Here we see how the soul can harbor both the desire to do good and the temptations that steer us away from that path. Our soul holds the desire to seek God, to align with truth and love. But it is also the space where doubts, fears, and distractions arise, leading us away from true peace. This internal battle is natural and is part of each person's journey. Recognizing this internal struggle is the first step toward seeking balance, understanding that our feelings and thoughts can be directed by God's will through the Spirit. For the soul to find peace, it is important to seek practices that help renew and keep it connected to the Spirit. The Bible frequently refers to the importance of renewing our mind and purifying our desires. Romans 12 verse 2 encourages us not to conform to the patterns of this world but to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. This renewal occurs when we adjust our thoughts and emotions to reflect spiritual purpose and values. Practices such as meditation, prayer, and daily reflection can be powerful tools for aligning the soul with the Spirit. Through these practices, we gain clarity over our thoughts and feelings, discerning what brings us closer to God and what distances us from Him. Thus, the soul ceases to be merely a space of conflict and becomes a place of peace, where our wills start to harmonize with the desire to live in alignment with the Spirit. It is in the soul that we seek meaning in life, where we feel the need to find a greater purpose. When the soul aligns with the spirit, it can find peace and contentment in all situations, as it no longer seeks satisfaction in temporary things but in what is eternal. In this process, our will, emotions, and thoughts are transformed so we can live more fully, in harmony with God's plan for us. In this way, the soul, so often a battlefield, can become a space of communion and peace, where we find strength to face difficulties and wisdom to make wise choices. Aligning our soul with the Spirit is an ongoing journey of self-knowledge and spiritual growth that brings us closer to our purpose and allows us to live more authentically. The Spirit is the most intimate and elevated dimension of who we are, the place where the human touches the divine. Through the Spirit, we connect with God and the greater purpose of our existence. In many moments of the Bible, the Spirit is mentioned as a source of life and wisdom. For example, in Proverbs 20 verse 27 we read, "The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord," indicating that it is through our spirit that God illuminates our understanding and guides us toward His truth. The Spirit, therefore, is a direct channel of communication with God, a space where we receive guidance, comfort, and inspiration. Unlike the body, which communicates with the physical world, and the soul, which processes emotions and thoughts, the Spirit is the dwelling place of the sacred within us. It is the point where we find a peace that surpasses human understanding, and where our true identity is revealed, as it is here that our essence and connection with eternity reside. To live a life connected to the divine, it is essential to cultivate a spiritual sensitivity. This is a practice that requires intentionality and daily habits of stillness and prayer. When we allow ourselves moments of silence and listening, we create space for the Spirit to manifest and communicate with us. It is in these quiet moments that we hear the still small voice that Elijah experienced, 1 Kings 19 verse 12, a voice not audible to the ears but perceptible to the heart. Spiritual sensitivity is the ability to sense God's presence and discern His will. It helps us understand that even amid difficulties and uncertainties, the Spirit remains connected to a source of peace and security. This sense of inner tranquility, born of the Spirit, gives us strength to face any situation, confident that we are supported by something greater than ourselves. Just as we care for the body to keep it healthy and strengthen the soul through knowledge and emotional self-care, we also need to nurture the Spirit. Strengthening the Spirit means setting aside time for spiritual practices that bring us closer to God, such as reading the Scriptures, meditating, and praying. These moments of spiritual intimacy serve as nourishment for the Spirit, which is strengthened and sustains us in life's most challenging journeys. It is in the Spirit that we find a source of wisdom that does not depend on the circumstances around us. When the Spirit is strong, we can view situations with a higher and calmer perspective, as we are connected to a vision that transcends time and space. In Isaiah 40 verse 31, we read that those who wait on the Lord renew their strength. This means that by depending on God and feeding our spirit, we gain an inner strength that enables us to move forward with courage and confidence. The Spirit is the anchor that keeps us steady when everything around us seems unstable. It is here that we find the peace that comes from God, a peace capable of sustaining us even in times of trial. This spiritual peace does not mean an absence of difficulty but rather the presence of an internal calm that allows us to weather any storm. When we are in harmony with the Spirit, this peace reflects in our actions and decisions, helping us live with greater purpose and balance. Beyond peace, the Spirit also offers us wisdom. Spiritual wisdom is different from mere knowledge. It is a deep discernment that allows us to see beyond appearances and understand things from a spiritual perspective. This wisdom guides us, showing us what truly matters and how to act in each situation. Through the Spirit, we are able to live more centered, with clarity and discernment, avoiding being lost in worries and distractions. Ultimately, the Spirit is our point of connection with God, where we find direction, meaning, and peace. It reminds us that we are more than body and soul and that our true essence is linked to the divine. By connecting with this dimension, we experience a life of fullness and purpose, aware that we are part of something much greater. Now that we understand the roles of body, soul, and spirit, it is important to reflect on how these three parts can harmonize in our daily lives. Each of these dimensions is unique, but they are intricately connected, forming one being. When body, soul, and spirit are in balance, our lives reflect peace, clarity, and purpose. However, when one of these parts is out of balance, our entire being suffers the consequences, affecting our health, emotions, and even our spiritual connection. The body is the means by which we manifest our decisions and intentions in the physical world. Our choices to care for the body, through balanced nutrition, physical activity, and rest, directly affect our mental and spiritual disposition. When we are physically exhausted or neglect our health, it is difficult to maintain enthusiasm in the soul and peace in the spirit. Self-care, therefore, goes beyond appearance or physical well-being. It is a way of honoring our temple and allowing the other dimensions of our being to function at full capacity. Moreover, the body can be used as an expression of what we experience internally. A smile, a hug, a compassionate look. These are all physical manifestations of something deeper, coming from the soul and spirit. Therefore, cultivating habits of self-care and respect for the body allows the physical to align with who we truly are. The soul, in turn, is the center where desires, thoughts, and emotions interact. It translates the needs of the body and the inspirations of the spirit into conscious choices. When the soul is in harmony, we can make decisions with calm and purpose. However, if the soul is overwhelmed by fears, anxieties, or resentments, it ends up polluting the decisions we make, distancing us from a full spiritual life. Introspective practices, like meditation and moments of reflection, help purify the soul and align our thoughts and emotions with what the spirit directs. As the soul is purified and connected with the spirit, it also guides the body more harmoniously. The renewal of the mind and thoughts, as advised in Romans 12 verse 2, transforms the soul and enables it to live in peace, expressing in actions the purpose inspired by the spirit. The spirit is the core of our connection with God and with the higher purpose of our lives. It guides us toward what is eternal and reminds us that life goes beyond immediate circumstances. When we are spiritually strong, we can face everyday challenges with serenity, as the Spirit provides us with an expanded vision and connects us to a source of peace that the world cannot offer. But for the Spirit to truly lead our choices and influence the soul and body, we need to nurture this dimension with practices that connect us to the divine. Prayer, reading sacred texts, and seeking moments of silence are ways to strengthen the spirit. Each day, by seeking this spiritual connection, our life becomes more centered and directed, and the spirit is empowered to lead the soul and body toward divine purpose. In daily life, balancing body, soul, and spirit requires practice and discipline. Small steps, like setting aside time to reflect, pray, and care for physical health, help maintain harmony among these three dimensions. For instance, we can start the day with a brief prayer or meditation, allowing the Spirit to guide our thoughts and emotions before we embark on daily activities. Mindfulness practices help align the body and soul with the Spirit, enabling us to act more consciously and calmly. When body, soul, and spirit are aligned, our actions reflect peace and purpose. We are able to make balanced decisions, act with compassion, and live with gratitude, regardless of external circumstances. This alignment allows us to live a life of fulfillment, where our physical, emotional, and spiritual selves are in harmony, leading us to a richer and more meaningful existence. True, lasting, and complete transformation begins from within, starting with the spirit and radiating outward to the soul and body. When we attune the spirit with divine purpose, we are guided by a source of peace that the world cannot provide. And by caring for the soul and body, we honor the temple God has given us, living a life that glorifies the Creator. So now that we've explored these themes together, I encourage you to reflect on your relationship with your body, soul, and spirit. What daily practices could help you nurture each of these aspects? What steps can you take to find more balance and connection with God? If you feel that this message resonates with something in your heart, share this video with friends, family, or anyone who might benefit from this reflection. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content that strengthens body, soul, and spirit.